So, sir, that brings me back to your friend Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi, am I present?
Yeah,
I call him friend because
He is my
let
friend.
me justify also before TV because I saw one of your interviews where you described him as a highly educated person.
Yes, he is.
And then he also has recommended
Yeah,
that you should
actually
become
fine.
the finance minister of India instead of Mr. Arun Jaitley. And you have gladly accepted his.
I am better qualified. I'm an economist. He is not. He doesn't know in economics.
But then you stand disqualified under your leader's eligibility criteria.
That is your.
which is
That is the leader has no eligibility criteria. This is your journalism.
Tell me the
journalist.
one person.
Yeah, I will give you. I'll give you the minister for small and medium industries. What is his name? He's from UP. There are 5, 6. What are you talking about? See, these journalists. All you need is these ladies who sit around with having tea with our politicians, and you'll say, "Put this in." They put it in as a scoop, and it gets circulated. How can there be? It's not in the party constitution. How can they say such a thing be said? Nobody has told me. Then why did I was made a member of parliament last year when I've crossed 75? So I mean, listen, don't go by those silly things. I was asked a straight question, would you make a better finance minister than Jaitley? I said, of course. I'm an economist, he is not. He doesn't know any economics. So therefore I will make a better finance minister. That's what I said.
So nobody is questioning your capability.
Then?
But what is under question is your eligibility.
Where is the eligibility?
What is the age criteria?
Who says that there is such a thing?
Sir, now several of the...
Now you see, you go on repeating a lie, which is of course a prerogative of you journalists. Go ahead. Tomorrow I become a minister, I will ask an apology from you.
Or you will file a defamation case.
No, I don't need to. I never filed defamation cases. You don't know that? People have filed against me and lost. Now for the last 20 years nobody has filed because they're too scared.
Sir, now the question that I was asking you was about Mr. Owaisi's challenge to the BJP to win either the Hyderabad seat or the Secunderabad seat. You have not reached out to the Muslims, and given the demography of Hyderabad, how do you expect to make any dent in Hyderabad?
Well, first of all, I expect 50% of the Muslim votes to come to us. They are fed up with the male chauvinism of Muslim men. And they know that nobody else has the guts to bring about the reforms necessary. So I have no problem. And this is a challenge in the future. Let the future come and become present, and Owaisi will learn a very bad lesson.
So you are hopeful that the BJP...
I'm certain BJP will win irrespective of whether we are pro-Muslim or not.
But what makes you think so? What is the...
I have seen that in UP. 125 Muslim-dominated constituencies, we won 85.
So there is no empirical data in UP that the Muslims have voted for you.
How can we win a constituency in which the Muslims have dominated all? And there not a single thing we lost except, out of 125, we have won 85. So how can we win without Muslim vote? The women have voted for us. And there are no documentation. Who's stopping you from documenting it? I know for a fact that people had told me that these 125 constituencies you can't win. That's why you will not be able to do it. We did it in the Lok Sabha for the same reason. And secondly, let me tell you another thing which also applies to Owaisi. BJP in its earlier avatar as Jansangh used to get Shia votes because the Sunni hardliners are a threat to Shias, Barelvi Muslims. There are so many other categories of Muslims, and now they suddenly feel comfortable in saying the Bohras and Khojas in Gujarat are now very comfortable with BJP. And so the Muslim will ultimately be reduced to Wahhabi Muslims. And that would be not, presently Muslim population 14%. I think the Wahhabi Muslims are only 6%.
Do you have anyone in mind as a presidential candidate, or your party has in...
No, not that.
Or do you think that Sonia Gandhi is
no. There have been discussions, but nothing is finalized. Nothing is finalized.
But who would you prefer? What side of a person would you?
Why should I say, supposing I say some name, then somebody who's also a friend of mine and he will feel bad.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say.
So now about this Ram Janmabhoomi.
Yes.
The Supreme Court has said that it can be done through a negotiated settlement, and I think you have also welcomed it.
I've said that I am for negotiated settlement, but the Muslim parties will not accept that. That's what I told the court. Because they are afraid of their hardliners, accusing them of settling with the Hindus for money.
But you have also taken a hard line. You are saying that the mosque should come on the other side of the Sarayu River,
Yeah.
and the temple should be constructed where the
That's right. That's right.
the
It's not a hard
Janmabhoomi
line.
is.
It's not a hard line.
No, it may not
It's
be.
a reasonable line.
Okay.
I'll explain to you
I'll
why.
take your explanation.
No, I'll explain to you.
Negotiated settlement.
No. I'm suggesting a solution. I'm ready to fight the court case. We'll win that court case. We already won it in Allahabad level, High Court level. I'm only saying that according to our traditions, the Akama Shastras and the Prana Pratishta Pujas that we do, our faith is that Ram was born at a particular spot, and that's where the temple should be built and was built. I mean, there's no dispute about these things. Therefore, there's no other place I can go to worship the place of birth of Ram Lala. Masjid has no religious significance. It's a place to read namaz. You read namaz in the airport, you read namaz in the aeroplane, you read it on the street, you read in your drawing room, you can read namaz anywhere. And that is why in Saudi Arabia, for building roads and apartment buildings, so in Turkey and other Muslim countries, they demolish or shift masjids. So I said to the masjid, I want to pray and I can only pray here. You want to read namaz, you can read anywhere. So I'll give you a place in across the Sarayu River. You go and we'll help you build a masjid there.
But the question that arises is, are you ready to accept the Supreme Court's verdict that comes in finally, or
Did the Congress accept the Shahbaz version?
I knew that you would come to that. But the answer to the question is not a contradiction.
I am saying there is nothing in the Constitution which says that the Supreme Court judgment cannot be undone by a parliamentary legislation.
So will you resort to such a mechanism with the...
Why should I talk about hypothetical questions? That option is there. It is not illegal. You are talking about morality, I think. That's because probably you belong to the left wing and therefore just naturally soft to the anti-Hindu forces. All right, if you don't, then let me tell you that let the judgment take place. They have no case. What's their case? Tell me, is the Muslim case that a masjid was demolished and therefore it should be restored? No. Their case is that this is our property by adverse possession. Do you know the concept of adverse possession? In civil law, if you build a house with your money and I enter your house and live there for 12 years without protest from you, then under the civil law, it becomes my house, even though you built it, because you didn't protest for 12 years. Now this is not adverse possession. The Allahabad High Court rejected it because the Hindus protested every year. Many died also. So therefore, I would say that the law is totally in our favor. And why should I speculate what if? There's no need for me to. But I will tell you the option, legal, constitutional option is available to me, that if that judgment is grossly unfair to the vast majority of Indians, then the parliament is entitled to change that judgment. We have done it in Jallikattu.
Yeah. The government of India has issued an application about cattle slaughter. Find the article 48 of the Constitution says that the state should strive for being ban on cow slaughter, and then you respect the BJPs and the RSS and the Hindu organizations' sentiment for protecting the cow. And the Supreme Court has also said that there is need for regulation. But the way this notification has been brought about, the man should carry about 4 or 5 copies of each document. Are we not bringing in what is being called a cow bureaucracy?
Don't kill cows, that's all.
No, the government of India has said.
Why?
No, if you go to an animal market.
Yeah, you must sell it to an agriculturist, but you can't sell it to.
Do you expect an illiterate farmer to carry a whole bunch of?
Farmers are no more illiterate. They know.
So, but the government of India has said that he should bring the copies of the ownership.
What is that?
In the quadruplicated.
So what is
What about
that?
it?
Ah, of course.
Okay, sir.
It is constitutionally required.
I mean, you are being an economist. I mean, you are a person with a scientific temperament. Surely.
No, there's nothing. You are following a ancient principle that our farmers are stupid.
No, sir. No,
Very smart. In Green Revolution, they disproved the whole Western world, who said farmers don't know anything except have produced children. This is what the American economists used to say, and used to.
But also some of the economists are saying that you are creating an imbalance between the bulls and the cows.
Why?
And then the cows will till the age of 10.
No,
but the cow will survive till the age of 20, 25.
Yeah.
What happens to those cows?
Those cows, government has to have a program to look after them.
So that means
We will introduce tax. We will introduce tax advantages.
A cow tax.
A cow tax, yes.
Okay, sir. So how do you feel about this vigilantism, cow vigilantism?
That is against the law, and they should be strictly dealt with.
Do you think that the BJP governments, where these incidents are taking place, are doing enough to?
Yes. Please tell me one place where these vigilantes have done and there's no been prosecution, people have not been
It's happening
arrested.
in Madhya Pradesh, it's happening in Uttar Pradesh, it's happening in Rajasthan.
Who's doing it?
Told yesterday it happened
Who's
in
doing it?
BJP state.
No, who's doing it?
In Bhubaneswar yesterday, they were part of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad or one of the affiliate organizations.
Have they produced their membership card?
They have been produced in the police station.
And I know that. But they are bound to claim that they are, because we are ruling party. And we got to check this out. But at least they were arrested. Now we'll see when the trial comes, let them say they are from BJP or VHP.
So now, has this Achhe Din come or when will it come? The BJP government has completed 3 years. So can you...
Yeah, there are many good things. I think the weakest part of our performance is the economy. That's because I'm an economist, so I can look at it more. There are a lot of people quite happy also, but I feel that we could have done much more. But I'm very proud that 3 years have gone by and not a single accusation of corruption against our government. We said we'll give you a corruption-free government. Through 3 years we have given you corruption-free government. 2, we have said that we will not just be passive if Pakistan continues to meddle with us in Kashmir. We have taken steps, maybe not as many steps as I would have liked, but certainly steps which were never taken by previous governments. And so the Pakistanis are literally today in such a situation that when Nawaz Sharif turned up in Saudi Arabia, President Trump refused to meet him, saying unless you dismantle your terror apparatus, I'm not going to shake hands with you. So Pakistan today has become what is called as a ostracized nation, and this is because of our efforts. So plus 3, many micro changes which are not getting reported in the media. You go to rural areas. I went when the UP elections were on. Women were coming in large numbers and saying we are going to vote for Narendra Bhai. I said why? He said for the first time what we dreamt would be one day true has already happened. Cylinders of gas have come.
But weren't they affected by demonetization?
Surprisingly, they were affected, but they said we are very happy. This is the only way to teach the rich people.
So that is the issue now. You are posing yourself as a Robin Hood, trying to rob the poor.
Whatever it is, ultimately in a democracy, the people have to decide. You ask me,
I am asking you as
what have you done?
as a BJP.
Economists, I would have done so many things differently.
About demonetization.
Even demonetization.
Currency.
Demonetization would have been a success if the finance ministry had prepared for adequate currency notes of 100 rupees and introduced a 200 rupee note.
So Mr. Arvind Chaudhary has described the BJP as a Congress plus a cow. Why are we laughing?
Because it's a funny comment. It's much more than that. We are a party which has united the nation, not the way the liberals want it, but we have made people rise above their castes and regions and languages. We have united the nation in a large measure as never before, and there is a feeling that this country is much tougher than it was before.
Don't you think that the BJP is dwelling excessively on saffron-related issues in the sense that, like what this the issue of this cow slaughter?
That's in the Constitution.
And then there's your daily some of
That's in the Constitution.
They talk about triple talaq.
That is also Constitution.
They talk about Ram Janmabhoomi.
That's also Constitution.
So these are the issues. Don't you think that it diverts that?
Why is it in the Constitution?
No, say Constitution is already there as a guiding light.
Yes.
But you know, as we come to the
No, sorry, you got the wrong, you have not read the Constitution. I'm telling you, Article 37 says that the following shall be the principle of governance and the government is directed to implement them. So where is the question? All these issues that we are raising, Congress was too ashamed to raise it, and they were being put aside. It was a demand. It was put in the Constitution, not by us, but by the Congress party. At that time it was a national party, and in the Constituent Assembly these things were debated and put in. So we have to do it.
Why does the BJP have a sense of insecurity?
No,
you have a Yogi Adityanath, a saffron-clad leader. You have Uma Bharati.
Yeah.
At the lower level, also you have a lot of.
What's the insecure in that?
No, but why does the BJP always? For example, you yourself have said that people are trying to, some foreign forces are trying to pull down Yogi Adityanath.
Yes,
Is Yogi Adityanath so weak or India so weak?
No.
And why should foreigners
I didn't say that he is weak.
No, I am saying, do you feel that?
No. But I can always bring to the notice of the public that this is not a natural event. It is being organized, and primarily to see that the Hindus do not consolidate. And so the divisions between the scheduled caste and the caste Hindus is perpetuated. That is what the plan is.
Who are these forces?
Mostly the missionary forces, jihadi forces, who have a lot of money.
So you have done a lot of studies about China.
Yes.
Don't you feel that we are slowly losing the plot to China in the sense that they are building the one belt, one road initiative? And then this nuclear supplies, they are able to keep us out of it. Then the other issue.
No. The answer to your question, whether we have failed in our policy towards China, answer is yes. We must befriend China. And befriending doesn't mean capitulation like Jawaharlal Nehru did. It is give and take, and we must know the Chinese psyche, and accordingly. And I got Kailash Mansarovar released when Morarji Desai took a bet with me that a communist country will never agree, and I made them agree. For Mrs. Gandhi, because of Narasimha Rao's intervention as foreign minister then, I got the Chinese to agree that if anybody from Assam crosses into China, that is Tibet, then they will arrest them and hand them over to our police on the border. And they have kept their word. There has never been a bullet fired in the Indian border, India-China border since 1967. So what is all this reason why people are talking about China as an enemy? It is something that we should have as friend.
The issue is not only about China as an enemy, but here in India, we are talking about cows, cow vigilantism, cattle slaughter, whereas China is talking about OBER, they are talking about building the Shanghai Beijing expressway in just 3 years, whereas we are unable to build a bridge. You are not China. Why are we not China?
Because we are 80% Hindu. We have to because for 70 years the Hindus were neglected, and this is all constitutional. I am not doing anything against the constitution. But you ignored these aspects of the constitution for 70 years. Now we are not going to. So, and we have to address it, because if you don't address it in 2019, you will be the first one to say you promised this, and we'll read out all that we had said in our manifesto. We have to implement it.
So, Dr. Swami, no conversation will be complete nowadays without any reference to some films. So it's about Bahubali. So, but here our Tamil Nadu Bahubali, that is Mr. Rajinikanth, he is planning to enter politics. So you have expressed your reservations about his entry into opposition. Because you feel that he is not educated enough. How many politicians are educated enough? Why are you opposed to it?
He is not educated in the art of governance. How many politicians, no, wait a minute, how many politicians are educated in the art of governance? In my opinion, that is the trend I am trying to change in Tamil Nadu. Give up these cinema people. They know nothing. They are ignoramuses. Tamil Nadu needs, with this new generation of educated people, to become a modern state. And for a modern state, you must have people who have that focus. Now, we had Kamaraj, who was a totally uneducated person, but he knew governance. First thing he did is, I didn't get education, so I'll set up an educational framework. And he did. Whatever educational framework we have today is what Kamaraj put in place. That kind of focus. This man is just dialogue, and that too written by a script writer, not his own dialogue. He's a complete scatterbrain, and therefore I don't want him in politics, but it is his right to go in politics. I don't want him in his party. I don't know what my party will do. So far they have not committed to taking him. There have been newspaper reports interpolating our statements to say we welcome him. There is no such statement. All that we said is that if he wants to come to politics, he is welcome. But we have never said that he is welcome in BJP, at least so far.
Thank you very much, Dr. Swami. It was a pleasure speaking to you.